Support staff means what? If you go to a company or office, they say that we have 20 support staffs. Support staff means what? Jadu Puja. Those who do Jadu Puja, they are called support staff. Like they support the main staff. So like that different designation, this is a Varna. One whole chapter goes in there. Why they don't elaborate so much? Actually there's a lot in this. Dharma and this, that's very complicated. But why Bhagavatam doesn't explain only one chapter? Not enough. Because so many other Dharma Shastras are there to explain what to do, what not to do. And anyways, Bhagavata Dharma supersedes all the other Dharmas. Basically, wherever you may be, whatever may be, Apad Dharma, this, and two chapters, which is chapter 14 and 15, which covers what is known as Grihastha. So Bhakti Thakur only sees two, not four, not Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyas, but he divides it only into two. Either you are a Griha Tyagi, you have left home in dedication, or you are a Grihastha, you are staying at home in dedication. There is only two options. No Grihamedi. Right? Either you left home in dedication or you stay home in dedication. So Bhakti Thakur only draws two parts. Right? Although traditional Varna ashram system, they have four. So Bhakti Thakur only, because from the line of the Goswamis, there was no saffron. Right? There was only Griha Tyagi or Grihastha. So in all the writings of Bhakti Thakur, you will see like this. But Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who brought back the four level of system. Functionally same. So two chapters deal with Griha Tyagi, right, which we are going to see in this today's session also. And two more chapters, 14 and 15, deals with Grihastha. These are important because these are the principles that gives our spiritual life. Varna, you function just to survive. But ashrama is whole life surviving. Right? The goal of life. Varna to start and continue life, ashrama to reach the gati. So that's why ashrama has a little more importance in that sense, duties of whether you are a Griha Tyagi or Grihastha. So now this section we are seeing, of course Yudhishthira Maharaj is talking to Narada Muni. Right? When does this conversation begin? Yudhishthira and Narada? Yudhishthira and Narada? This comes from the beginning of the 7th canto. This whole conversation is going on. Narrates the story of Prahlad. Now here, Narada Muni narrates how Prahlad Maharaj once wandering in the Sahyadri mountains, right? He sees a Brahmana. Who is the Brahmana? Who is the Brahmana? You know? What is mentioned? Who is the class yesterday? Or day before? Anyone mentioned who is the Brahmana? Yesterday we came first time. God not true. Did he mention who is the Brahmana? Huh? Shaya is a mountain. Shaya mountains. Shaya Adri. Shaya Adri is Shaya mountains. Shayadri, this Konkan belt where we are. This Kohoch is just a small piece of the Shayadri. The western Ghats, which comes across Kerala, Karnataka, these are areas of the Shayadri mountain ranges. These are Ghats. So who is the Brahmana? Yeah. So one time when we went to Melkote, you know as Melkote? Melkote is in Karnataka, near Mysuru, right? South India. Ramanujacharya had made one headquarters there, Melkote. When he was threatened to death in Srirangam, he had gone to Melkote. 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 So in one yatra they said that this is the place where Prahlad Maharaj came and saw Dattatreya. It is mentioned there. Now there is no reference, no Acharya citing, but this is just sthanic story from the local area in Melkote. They say that Prahlad Maharaj came here, saw Dattatreya lying down, and he gave Upadesham how of Vairagya. So Dattatreya we know gives about Bhakti and Vairagya, two things. Of course we don't worship Dattatreya. Jiva Goswami writes. We do not follow the followers of Dattatreya. Jiva Goswami writes in Bhagavad. Maharashtra is very famous. In South India, if you put Dattatreya has only one head. In Maharashtra, you see he has 3 heads. In South India, he has 1 head. Anyways. So, but when you come later to 11th canto, the 24 Gurus episode, there also there is an Avadhut Brahman who says that I have learned from so many people. Right? There, Acharya's mentioned is Daratraya, who mentions the 24 Gurus episode. I learned from earth, I learned from sky, I learned from this. Remember, you know, heard of it? So there Sridhar Swami mentions. The original commentator of Bhagavatam, he says that this 24 Guru Avadhut is, 11th canto is Dattatreya. And Vishnu Chakravarti agrees. There is no commentary for this Avadhut. But we will see one similarity today. One similarity today, which the teachings are the same. So maybe the 7th canto Avadhut Brahmana and the 11th canto Avadhut Brahmana are the same. We don't know. We don't know, but we'll see. Alright? Okay, so are you ready? Okay. Text 28. Iti etat atmana swartam santam vismritya vaikuman vichitram asati vaite Gora apnoti samsritam.
In this way, the conditioned soul living within the body forgets his self-interest because he identifies himself with the body. Because the body is material, his natural tendency is to be attracted by the varieties of the material world. Thus, the living entity suffers the miseries of material existence.
So across Bhagavatam, you'll come across the sections where they talk about the sufferings of material world. Correct? It's a very popular theme. And now you have studied up to the 7th canto. You have finished 6 cantos. What is a common theme that you see around from the past 6 cantos? The suffering of the material world is one common theme. What else a common theme? The last 6 cantos you have seen. Huh? So many themes are there. No, there is no one answer. 100 answers. Okay, that's like the first theme only. Suffering due to misidentification of the body, how this material world is, a place of suffering. This is not a permanent place. What other themes that come up? Huh? Bhakti is superior. At least each canto once somewhere, Bhakti is superior comes. Okay, no problem, very positive. What else negative stuff? Vaishnava. Lord's protection of devotees. Yes. Every canto that comes up, first canto, second canto, protecting Brahma, third canto, protecting four Kumaras, Jai Vijay, fourth canto, protection with Daksha in one sense. Yes, protection of Lord's devotees, beautiful. Mistakes and reformation. First canto, whose mistakes? Huh? Parikshit Maharaj. Was Parikshit Maharaj a mistake? Was it really repent? That was a Daiva kind of thing. You cannot consider Bharat Maharaj also a mistake. Okay, no problem. Any other example in first canto? Huh? Vyasdev made a mistake. Yes, in that sense, okay, that's good. Yeah, you can say it's like a mistake. Someone gone wrong somewhere and got onto the right path. Good counsel by the Lord. Second canto? Brahmaji, fantastic, very good. Third canto? Put it in mistake. Okay, Dhritarashtra. Hiranyaksha did a mistake, was he independent? Four Kumaras, yes, very good. Okay, very good. What else team? Perfect, accepted. What else team? Well, all positive.
Knowledge from Guru.
Knowledge from Guru. Okay, again, very small team, few places, few slokas. Something very solid. Power of time. Third chapter, third canto, 11th chapter, 9. What about dangers of wealth? Dangers of opposite sex. This is something that was a little touched on in the first 6 cantos. You will not see so much. First canto somewhere. Janmaishwarya Sudha Shri Redavana Madapuman. The beginning. After not so much. But from 6th, 7th canto onwards, you will see a different shift. The first 6 cantos, 7th cantos onwards, 7th canto onwards, you see a different shift. From 7th canto onwards, right up to the 12th canto, heavy how wealth is dangerous, how association with the opposite sex is dangerous. Every other chapter, every other section is coming up so much. First 6 cantos are there, but not so strongly. 7th canto you will see, 8th canto you will see, 9th canto you will see, 10th canto you will see, 11th, practically every canto hitting. Why? Because now we are building up towards the 10th canto. Verify hona chahiye. Verify canto, 10th canto. So all the basics of the supremacy of the Lord, the identity of the Lord will cover in the first 6 cantos. The Lord serves his devotee, the Lord helps his devotee, the Lord knows everything, the Lord is all powerful. But the 7th canto onwards, we are going to see now for me, this up, nikalna padega. Okay, so this section, this one, I like this section a lot actually, somehow by Krishna's grace I got this section now. So this section which deals with the renounced order is brilliant. Okay, so be ready for this. Text 28 says that living entity suffers miseries of material existence. Now please quote some slokas which we have learned in the past 6 cantos. How the jiva is suffering in this material world. Janasya Krishna Vimukasya Daivan Adharmashilasya Sudukkitasya. Friend, that's it. The rest is the qualification of devotee. Right? Sukai karmani karoti loko. But then? Trying for happiness but not getting. Any other sloka? Nidraya Buddhete. Okay, yes. Dukkaushadam tarapi dukka madad dilanam. Okay, great. 7th recently you learned. Praise of Lord Maharaj, fantastic. Just see how much it's repeating. So you try to meditate. First canto, what did I see? Second canto, what did I see? What are the verses which talks about suffering? And practically you can see it comes up everywhere. Right? Etad hi atura chittanam matras parsas ichaya muhu. Then because they are suffering. Etad hi atura chittanam, they are getting headache. Why? Because of matras parsas, because of touching in the material world. Association with the material modes, they are suffering. Later in the 8th canto, we will see one more verse. 8th canto. Klesha bhuli alpasarani karmani viparyaya. Karmani vifalani. Klesha bhuli, lot of suffering. Alpasarani, but the returns are meager. Like you work for 12 hours a day and you get 1,000 rupees. What is the fiber? 1 month salary 1,000 rupees, but you work 12 hours a day every day. Crazy na? Klesha buri. Bura tarah klesha. But alpasarani. And then when you want the result, karmani, you are doing that with vifalani. But everything you get is opposite. Listen, person works hard, buys the house thinking that I am safe now. That house gets robbed. Person builds a nice car thinking that I can take my whole family. That car gets into accident. Right? Or some signboard falls in the car. Recently happened in Mumbai, a few days ago, 90 people died. You know how machar you hit? Machar? You hit other now? Prakriti, people, petrol station, like machar. How dangerous is material world? Right? So Prabhupada writes in his purport of the 28th chapter, everyone is trying to be happy because in the earlier verse it's mentioned The living entity's original nature is to be happy. Right? So, but few lines later, they have forgotten their real nature. Because we have forgotten our identities, we are considering the body to be the self, and we are afflicted to all kinds of troubles of birth, death, old age, and disease. I think this is a misconception. The happiness sought by the conditioned soul is certainly only illusion, as explained in the next verse. So Bhagavatam is very open, very direct, to criticize this mental existence. Text 19. Now they give an analogy to see how something which is right in front of us, but we cannot realize it. Something which is right in front of us, but we cannot realize it. Right? There is this existence. Material world, how powerful is Maya? Text 29. Jalantat utpaveschannam हित्वाक्यो जलकाम्यया मृगतृष्णाम् उपाधावे तथान्यात्तार्थदृक्स्वता.
Just as a deer, because of ignorance, cannot see the water within a well covered by grass, but runs after water elsewhere, the living entity covered by the material body does not see the happiness within himself, but runs after happiness in the material world.
So this word Mriga Trishna is a word that comes across many times in Bhagavatam. Mriga means deer, Trishna means thirsty. Mriga Trishna Eva. It's a Nyaya, which I forgot to say. Mriga Trishna Eva. Just like a thirsty deer. What is the understanding of this? Mriga Trishna means what? You say, what? So what? Thirsty deer. I am also thirsty. What thirsty deer means what? What does it signify? Mriga Trishna. Is it a glorification? Is it a galification? We have seen this before. It has come before. Mriga Trishna. What does it mean?
Trying to find all the way what is different from the else.
Trying to find something else, okay?
But it is losing it.
Huh?
But the happiness within himself.
Happiness within himself, no. What does the word Mriga Trishna mean? Try to show. Seeing water in the desert mirage. Mriga Trishna means foolish living entity. Foolish living entity who is going to run towards his death. When the deer in the desert sees far away some water, actually it's the sun's rays, it starts running towards it. What will happen to it? Die. Mriga Trishna means certain death. 100% you're going to die. It shows the foolish condition of the living entity who thinks that there is happiness in material world. But actually nothing. So we are all compared to thirsty deers. So here this analogy is so beautiful. See, Bhagavatam gives analogies from them. We very clearly understand this. So the deer is walking around looking for food, looking for water, to drink, and he sees some green grass, but he does not understand that how did the green grass grow? Because there is water underneath. He doesn't know that if it simply goes there, just move the legs a bit, they'll get water. But it sees the green grass, it doesn't know, it starts looking outside. Maybe there's water somewhere else. And it goes, and what happens to the deer? Dies. So similarly here, will you read the translation?
Yes.
So similarly here, the living entity does not realize that this body is growing, this body is living, I am moving, because within there is water. Water is compared to soul. There is a soul inside, but I am focused on the grass. I am trying to look for happiness outside. Right? Nake vidu swarta gatim hi Vishnu durashayate gahir artha maninas. We think that there is some artha, there is something valuable outside. What's the meaning of anartha? Anartha. Unwanted, something which has no value. Anartha, artha means value. Anartha means something has no value. When something has no value but you take it as value, right? You hold on to lust, anger, greed, all important. It's foolish, isn't it? So we think there is some value outside Bahirata Manina, but nothing. Actually, the real value Anta Jyotirameyame Tadamritam. This is what Kulishekar Maharaj says in Mukunda Maharaj Stotra. Anta Jyotirameyam Etat Amritam. Inside that Jyoti, the Prakash, is from inside. That is the only wealth. Everything else outside is no meaning. See how powerful, huh? But we are in the deer. We don't see it. It's in front of us. It's every day with us. But we see more on the body. Okay. So Prabhupada writes in the purport are very nice. Small but very nice. This is an accurate example depicting how the living entity, because of lack of knowledge, runs after happiness outside his own self. When one understands his real identity as spiritual being, he can understand the supreme spiritual being Krishna and the real happiness exchange between Krishna and oneself. It is very interesting to know, Prabhupada says, how this verse points to the body's growth from the spirit soul. Just like grass is growing from water, this body is also growing because there is a spirit soul. You don't see the table growing. Do you see the table growing? Next week I come for class. No. Hey, it doesn't grow. There is no soul inside, I hope. Unless it's Shakatasura. Shakatasura was an object with a soul inside. That's right? Ghost demon that entered Shakata. Shakata means heart body. Hatha body. Okay? It entered there. So it's a ghost demon. Shakatasura. Let's hope there's no Devarasura. Yeah. Yes. So the modern material scientist thinks that life grows from matter, but actually fact is that matter grows from life. The life of the spiritual soul is compared here into water, from which clumps of matter grow, and in the form of grass. One who is ignorant of scientific knowledge of the spirit soul does not look inside the body to find happiness in the soul. Instead, he goes outside to search for happiness. Just as a deer without knowledge of the water beneath the grass goes out to the desert to find water. Okay? So that's why people try to find enjoyment in other things. Smoking, drinking, eating, traveling, all outside, bahir. But if you do one activity, chanting, which actually goes inside, because you're aimed within, worshipping,
The living entity tries to achieve happiness and rid himself of the cause of distress. But because the various bodies of the living entity are under the full control of material nature, all his plans in different bodies, one after another, are ultimately doubled.
So one after another, krita, it's like a slap to the face. Kriya, moga, krita. Again and again they try to do but fail. Kriya, moga. Moga, asha, moga, karpana. मोगा एक लाइन वो मोगा हो गया और मोगा नहीं चाहिए बहुत हो गया मोगा राइट वी वांट अमोगा वी डोंट मोगा क्रिया मोगा कृतम again and again failure. So it's just like if you imagine, have you seen sometimes the rainy season you see the insect when it tries to fly outside have you seen? In the mirror or in the window, the insect fly, tuck. You know, thinking, oh my God, this is my story. This is my life. Again and again, kriya, moga, krita. We try different body. First body, king, tuck. Second body, demigod, tuck. Third body, shudra, tuck. Dog body, tuck. Krita. Still trying again and be baffled. But we forgot that actually, if we just, sometimes the door is open, the window is closed. So what if you come out now, you can get the freedom. The other side is open, fully open. But just some little ignorance, short-sightedness, hitting. this is a big reflection from nature. Again, we are very fortunate to actually study Bhagavatam in this rural setting. In those days, in rainy season, we used to have no teachers who would come into the ashram and teach us in the bathroom early morning when you go, 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. You see all kinds of Discovery Channel. Right? Yellow frogs, red frogs, half red, half black. What all you see. So you learn a lot of life lessons. Right? When you go into the bathroom, when you go to the toilet, when you lock the door, when you are ready, and suddenly you see, but you cannot run out. Right? You cannot run out also. That time you take shelter of Krishna, and you don't move. Slowly avoid, finish quickly and escape. After you have done experience like this. Right? In some yatra somewhere. All this you have to experience. Now not so many because of construction.
Bhaktar was born in Ocean of Nasi.
Huh?
Bhaktar Maharaj.
Bhakti
He
Sarma.
was in Ocean of Nasi. When he joined in Mayapur.
Yeah.
For the first time he went to the toilet.
Yes.
And when he saw the under of the toilet, there was a snake out there.
Yeah.
And he was ready for toilet.
Right? So this gives us actually realizations of life. Okay. So one and after another. So proper again, super proper, very hitting proper rights in the beginning. Because the materialist is in gross ignorance of how the laws of material nature act upon him, as a result of his fruitive activity, he mistakenly plans to enjoy bodily comfort in the human form of life through so-called economic development, through pious activities or elevation to higher planet systems, so many other ways. But factually, he has become a victim, okay, to the reactions of his fruitive activities. So someone starts thinking, maybe if someone reads Bhagavatam, verse by verse, purport by purport, won't they become sadhu? Whether it is heavy here, just by reading, people will give up everything, isn't it? What do you feel?
I have a question. We read.
Is it related to my statement?
We read. And when we are reading, we have some feelings also. But after a few days, we forget.
Few days, wow.
After coming out,
Few days is a big thing. After closing the book.
so what to do?
You have to keep reading. You have to keep reading. Keep studying. Keep hearing. It's a realization. Pray to Krishna that all this what I am seeing will translate real life when I see things. Right? Like that day I was sharing Bhagavad class. How life is so dangerous, we don't see how life is so cruel. You go to wash your glass, right, and you see ants. You're on the water, shh, the ants get washed up. You're thinking, what to do? Oops, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. But imagine if you were in the ant's position. Just for 1 second, imagine it's like a tsunami coming, washing you away. One moment you're in here, next moment you're somewhere else. Drowned, dead. It's not easy, it's very painful. If you just think about the pain the ants is going to do. It's horrible. Right? So keep reading. So Prabhupada life is very brilliant. They're just victims, foolishness, just like this insect. Again, what is that? Kriya moga kata kata. Thak thak. That karo. Thak thak thak. Again. Okay. Okay, so how to come out of it? Prabhupada writes in the last paragraph of this purport. Yagyanta karmananyandra loko yam karma bandhana. Do everything as a service to Krishna. And one will come beyond this papa punya. Again, that's the last paragraph. Right. Text 31. Now, he gives the reality of this material world. This is a shloka, it's not for memorization. It's a bit difficult to memorize, but it's a very interesting point, this 31st shloka. Adhyatmikadi virdukkai. This means spiritual life is suffering. Adhyatmika? No, this is not. Then adhyatmik. This is the three klesh. Adhyatmik, adhidhaivik, adhibhautik. So adhyatmika dukkhe, not only spiritual. Speech like is very difficult. अविमुक्तस्य कर्हिचित् मर्त्यस्य तृक्षणोपानते अर्थे कामे क्रियेत किम्.
Materialistic activities are always mixed with three kinds of miserable conditions: Adhyatmika, Adivika, and Adibhavika. Therefore, even if one achieves some success by performing such activities, what is the benefit of this success? One is still subjected to birth, death, old age, disease, and the reactions of these polluting activities.
So this is a powerful verse. What is verse is saying? Arthe kame kriyeta kim. Kriyeta kim. Why are you acting? Why are you doing? Why are you studying? Why are you working? Why are you living in the material world? Kriyeta kim. Arthe kame. Whatever you desire to fulfill, whatever you're trying to achieve or success, it is useless. He says why? Because first line, you cannot escape threefold miseries. Even if you become Ambani, whatever, you cannot escape threefold miseries. First point. Second, avimuktasya karhichit, right? That one suffers at karhichit at certain points of time. This four miseries: birth, death, old age, and disease. Avimuktasya karhichit. So first thing is threefold miseries. Second is four. You know what's the difference between the four realities of life? Birth, death, old age, and disease, and threefold. What's the difference between these two? Not 4 and 3, I know there's a difference. But what's the difference? Threefold miseries and four miseries. Why they give 4 and 3? They say 7 now. Why don't we separate 4 and 3? That is spiritual? No, both are gross, both are separate also. How? 4? Okay, these are specs. Okay.
And before are like categories.
Okay, good, very close. These four miseries, birth, old age, disease, and death, are not perceivable all the times. If you put your fingers like this 4, how many space you get in between? The 3 come. But the other 3 are always you can suffer. No time. Birth only happened before. Now I am not troubled by death. Will come when time comes. I am not troubled by old age. Will come at a certain period of time. Disease comes once in a while, not always. But Adhyatmika, Adibhavika, Adidhaivika are always perceived every day. Yes? You wake up with a headache. Right? You eat, there's stomach pain. You're hungry but you cannot eat. Sleep, lie down but you don't sleep. Isn't it? Guilt. Right? Oh, today everything is going nice, suddenly you fight with someone for no reason. Adi Bhavika. Argue, this and that. Yes? So these things constantly happen. This at specific intervals. So Krishna has designed such a way that if you think you are free from this, don't forget between the four junctions of life, these 3 things are always there. Right? So they are complementary. Hare Krishna. So first line is the 4, second line is the 3, and then third line, Martyasya kricharopanatai. That means he is subjected to death, miseries and death. So even if you think that I escaped these 4, I escaped these 3, what is the end of all living beings? Man, everyone will die. Yes. What is the verse in Bhagavad Gita? That everyone will die. Jatasya hi dhruvam mrityu dhruvam janma mritasya cha. One who is born sure to die, and one who is dead will take birth again. Right, so it's no one time Prabhupada wrote, no? In one conversation he's speaking, he wrote, to die is not great. There is no big deal in dying. Prabhupada said, nothing great in dying. Everyone dies. But to live, Prabhupada says, to live, that To remain alive is a great thing. To die is not a big thing. Prabhupada said this towards the end of his life. He said that what's the point? Die, that is not a big thing. Everyone will die. It's nothing great. Don't be disturbed by death. But if you're alive now, that's a big thing. Take your life seriously. Amazing, huh? Right? I maybe remind me, I'll send you the excerpt of that lecture. Right? Brilliant. So that was very amazing. Right? Anyways, everyone's going to die. So therefore the question comes, why are you trying to fulfill your desires when these three things are there? This shloka, very powerful. Not very easy to memorize in Sanskrit, but very powerful. Arthai kame kriyeta kim. Why? Question is asking kim. Why? Why are you acting to fulfill your desires when these three things are clear? क्या फायदा है? छोड़ दो. Right? What is the first suffering? Trividata. Second suffering, abhimuktasya parinichit. Sometimes you experience the 4 stages of suffering. What is the third thing? Even if you forget about the first 2, you are going to end today or tomorrow. What's the point? So I find this verse very powerful. Right? In future, if anyone wants to join ashram, I am not sure, you can tell them this verse. So Prabhupada writes about, according to the materialistic way of life, if a poor man, after laboring very, very hard, gets some material profit at the end of the life, he is considered a success. Even though he again dies while suffering the threefold phases. If you see all big company people today, like have you heard of this Godrej Lock and different. There's so many big companies. If you look at the history of how the company started, these people were not rich. They started the program and then they died. After them, the company grew. And now the children and the grandchildren, they are millions and billionaires. Where is the founder? Chala gaya. Some lock on him, gone. He's dead. Isn't it? Creator Kim, what's the point of this? Then Prabhupada, in this purport, he writes very nice. So we look in the middle, then Prabhupada writes, I have seen. Have you seen? I have even seen. Found that? Yeah. So I have even seen a dying man begging a medical attendant to increase his life by 4 years. This analogy Prabhupada says in many places. If you read the book Laws of Nature, small book, there also Prabhupada writes, don't try to beg for 4 years. You cannot even get 1 second. Prabhupada says like that. So I don't know who this is. Maybe he's a friend or something. Kumar.
He was telling the same kind of story.
Okay.
He was asking for 4 years, that 2 years, Kumar.
Who is Uttam Kumar?
He's the
Actor. Okay. Bengali actor.
very famous.
Yes, very famous. I don't know. Uttam Kumar. Bengali actor.
Why are you working on 4 years? You know that I need to complete my studies.
So this book will research whether Prabhupada has met Uttam Kumar. Maybe when he was dying, Prabhupada saw him. Because Prabhupada says he has seen. And in many places now, Laws of Nature I remember, and in another place, in a talk also, in 3 places Prabhupada mentioned the same incident. Person dying asking to extend. 2 or 3 places Prabhupada mentions this. But I have not been able to actually track who is that person. Now I'll do, thank you, I'll do some homework to see this is Uttam Kumar. Maybe, let's see from his timeline. Then, continuation. Of course, the medical man was unsuccessful in expanding the life of the man, who therefore died in great bereavement. Everyone must die in this way, and after one's mental condition is taken into account by the laws of material nature. Mental condition here means yam yam vapi smaran bhavam. He is given another chance to fulfill his desires in a different body. Prabhupada then smashes everyone. There are many politicians, social reformers, philosophers who die very miserably. And Bengal is filled with this. politicians, social reformers and philosophers. Most in India come are Bengalis, who are philosophers, politicians and social reformers. Okay? Died very miserably without deriving any practical value from their material crimes. Amara Bengal is like that. Amara Bengal is like that. They came, they gone. But Bengal is in the state is. But very heavily. Therefore, a sane and sensible man never desires to work hard under the conditions of threefold miseries, only to die in disappointment. Wow. He does not want to work hard because he will die disappointed. Now, can you tell me one sloka? If someone asks you that if I do not work hard, how am I going to get material development or economical development? We must work hard, isn't it? But here Prabhupada is saying, don't work hard. Yes, first canto, 5th chapter, very good. Someone, first canto, 5th chapter? Yes, what is the first line? Tasyeva heto prayateta podita. Prayateta means endeavor, podita means intelligent. Sane person. A sane person will not endeavor. Na labhyate yat brahmatam upali adaha. You will not try to endeavor for that which you can get just by going up and down. You go up and down this material world from Swarga to Patala. All this kind of Indriya Bhogam you can get, nothing great. Then what does he look for? What does he endeavor for then? Tal labhyate dukavat kalena bhagir ramasa. He does not endeavor because just as you don't endeavor for dukam, you don't try to be unhappy, but problem keeps coming. Yes? Did you ask today 11:30 I'll get problem? You choose? No, problem comes. Problem comes uninvited. Happiness will also come uninvited. No, you will go after happiness. This is the most difficult shloka to digest in Bhagavad. This is the most difficult shloka to digest. You mean I don't have to try to be happy? If you try to be happy, like we saw earlier, if you try to be happy, you will be sad. Don't try to be happy. Happiness will come automatically. If it comes, it comes. Doesn't come, doesn't come. Leave it. But if you try to be happy, you will suffer. So people who are working in the outside world, they're like, it doesn't make sense. If I work hard, I get money. But you don't see, behind that money, there's so much of chinta. Without endeavoring, distress. Last Maharaj, 7.5. This is 7.5, 7.6. 7.6. 32. Text 32. Pashyami darinam klesham lubdhanam ajitatmanam vayat alabdya nisranam sarvato vivishankinam.
The Brahmana continued, I am actually seeing how a rich man who is a victim of his senses is very greedy to accumulate wealth and therefore suffers from insomnia due to fear from outside, despite his wealth and opulence.
Insomnia means cannot sleep, unable to sleep. So here, Pashyami dhaninam klesham. I see the suffering of a rich man. Who is saying? The third. He is saying. Right? So this is what life, spiritual life is, to actually realize what you have been hearing. He has actually seen Lubdana. Right? You heard this word Lubdha. Do you remember? Lubdha, Lubdha. Very good. Forest of material. Very prominent that words come. Lubdha. What does it mean? Greedy. What does it represent in the body? Lubdha. The evacuation senses. The rectum. evacuation centers. That's called Lubdaka, proper rights. Because tendency is when we greedy, we eat a lot, later we suffer from going toilet. Eat spicy, haribo. Eat a lot, stomach pain. So much suffering is there. So, you can imagine the evacuation census is a symbol of greed. Symbol of greed, Lubdaka. That is called. So the word Lubda means greed. Here, because of greed, Ajitatmanam, right? He is a victim of his senses, and therefore he suffers so much. So this is another theme in Bhagavatam of wealth. Okay, how wealth is so dangerous. You will see this later in 8th canto when Vamandev speaks about principles of satisfaction. You will see this in 9th canto, 10th canto, 10th canto Nalakavera Manikriva episode, when Narad Muni will say, what is the benefits of poverty? Benefits of poverty, you speak. Person who is poor, they can get realization. So he said the best punishment for these two brothers is make them poor. Because they were Dhaninam, they were rich people before. Right? In this, what's it? Arjuna trees episode. Okay? So like that across Bhagavatam many verses comes. Now insomnia, sleep, okay, lack of sleep is very important. If you remember Kapila teaching, what does he talk about sleep? Five lakshanam of buddhi, right? Buddhir lakshanam. Swapna is there, sleep. Right? Samshaya, remember? Next, wrong knowledge. Samsayvata viparyaso nishchaya smritit evacha. So these are four. Right? Samsaya, doubt. Viparyaso, wrong knowledge. Memory, and before that, nishchaya, right knowledge. And smriti. And sapna. These are the five lakshanas of intelligence. Right? So Prabhupada there writes in the purport that if you sleep too little, it's not good. If you sleep too much, it's not good. Basically, if you sleep too little, you become crazy. If you sleep too much, you become lazy. Okay? So these are some points. We also remember these wealth, dangers of wealth. If you see Chaitanya Charitamrita, when Sanatana Goswami was running away with Ishan, and Ishan gave gold coins to the person, but he kept one gold coin, emergency. So then when the innkeeper wanted to kill, Mahaprabhu thinks, why do you want to kill us? We have nothing. Then Ishan, what he says? Actually, I kept one coin. Why you are carrying death in your pocket? He says, why you are carrying death in your pocket? So wealth is like death. Right? It's a very dangerous thing. So Prabhupada here writes, greedy capitalists accumulate wealth under so many miserable conditions. The result is that they collect money by questionable means. Their minds are always agitated. Now in India, the elections are going on. So much money is going here and there. And all the politicians are very agitated. They cannot sleep. Thus, they are unable to sleep at night. They have to take pills for mental tranquility to invite sleep. And sometimes even the pills are a failure. Consequently, the result of having accumulated money, so much labor, is certainly not happiness, but only distress. How many of you have experienced carrying lakhs of cash? Have you experienced before? Carrying so much money, you have to go to the bank or something. How do you feel? Every step scary, huh? Anyone robs me, takes me, hold on to the bag tightly, isn't it? Is there any holes in the bag? 10 times you keep checking under the bag. 10 times you keep touching the bag. Someone kills me, steals the money, quickly go, do not to click. Right? I was in book distribution, Buddha Seva. And as the books were being sold, money was coming in Chapati. So my service was to go and take it to the bank. At Axis Bank we started, first time. It was nearby. Nearby means what? I had to cross 2 roads and go. Give me so much money I never seen in my life. I've never seen so much money put into the bag. And he says, relax and go. put there and just relax and go thinking that nothing. But why would a sadhu walk into a bank? He doesn't have money, isn't it? So then young boy walking to the bank, coolly, so people know, isn't it? Yeah, so then I thought after a few days I got scared that people may be noticing me. I said, you go now, I won't go. So fear, not just only, not even my money, still so much fear. Money has this nature. So here, Narottam Das Thakur quotes, what is the value of acquiring comfortable position if the mind is always disturbed? He quotes this beautiful bhajan. Samshara Vishanale What song is this? Prabhupada's favorite song. Right? You don't know Prabhupada's favorite song? What is the favorite song of His Holiness Jayabhadra Swami Maharaj? What's the favorite song of His Holiness Narma Swami Maharaj? What do you think? Disciples, you know? What do you think? Probably so much years experience. I think, I don't know, I have not heard, but I think like Parama Corona we all know. This is Jayabhadra. But I think it is Gauranga Poetry. I think, because every time I hear Maharaj sings this, and that is a different ecstasy. Different ecstasy altogether. And he sings it compared to other bhajans. So I think he has been meditating on this a lot too much. Every yatra practically. Gauranga Poetry. So then I realized that I feel this is his favorite. I don't know. Same when you hear Jayabhadra Maharaj sings Parama Corona. There's a little ecstasy that goes when he sings. Have you heard the song? Maharaj sings. So I think this is a favorite. What's the favorite version of Suraj Baba Sangha? There is an ecstasy. So it's very good that we know this, right? Prabhupads and our spiritual master, Vardhaman Acharyas. Right? It gives some happiness to our heart, isn't it? When I was reading this first thing, I thought, man, Prabhupada always quotes his favorite.
He is asking what is your favorite?
I'm not Acharya. Okay, so then Prabhupada writes very nice. So see the next paragraph. He says, as far as our Krishna conscious movement is concerned, now Prabhupada purports, this purports come instructions to devotees. I told you, some purports you'll find different flavors. Some purports you'll find Prabhupada talking about himself, sharing his life story, like he saw this man dying. Some places you'll find Prabhupada indirectly talking about himself. Some places you'll find Prabhupada giving instructions to his disciples and the future ISKCON members. Okay? So one time I compiled all of this, I don't know where I lost the time. Because no one took up the project so long ago. I did this in 2015. Can you imagine? 2015 I wrote all this. Then after that I got busy, no one took up the project, no one was interested so much. I can't find the file now. So anyway, I don't mind doing it again. It was so much enjoyment. So three phases. Prabhupada talking about himself openly, Prabhupada talking about himself privately, Prabhupada giving future instructions in the purports. Right? Just see and Bhagavatam, take these two only. Bhagavad Gita not so much. Bhagavad is two things. All these three kinds of things you can extract. So this purport we are going to see proper sharing of this. As far as our Krishna conscious movement is concerned, we are getting money naturally by the grace of God, by selling our literature. What does getting money naturally mean? Legal. Unnatural means of getting money means illegally. Prabhupada says naturally, that means legally, by selling our literature. This literature is not sold for our sense gratification. To spread the Krishna conscious movement, we need many things, and Krishna is therefore supplying us requisite money to advance this mission. Krishna is giving. The mission of Krishna is to spread Krishna consciousness all over the world, and for this purpose, we naturally need sufficient money. Therefore, we are following the advice of Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada. We should not give up attachment to money. Kya baat hai? So all shlokas saying give up attachment, Prabhupada saying don't give up attachment to money. Isn't it? Because we need to spread the money. skip the next two verses and continue the purport. After the quotation of Anasakta Vishayana, money is undoubtedly coming in great quantities. What year is this Prabhupada writing? It's 1975. This is 1975? Yes, end of 1975. That means UK center is established, at least in US, East Coast, North Coast, East Coast, West Coast and North temples are there. By 75, South Africa preaching started, Ethan and Maharaj had come, right, in Venezuela, Caracas, there has also begun. 1975, Mumbai, our India preaching has also begun. Indian Vrindavan projects have started. So this is the height of ISKCON, 75. Money is coming in proper, great quantities. But we should not be attached to this money for sense gratification. Every cent should be spent. Wow. Every cent should be spent for spreading the Krishna conscious movement, not for sense gratification. There is danger of a preacher when he receives great quantities of money. For as soon as he spends even a single cent of the collection for his personal sense gratification, he becomes a fallen victim. Right? This is a standing instruction, since we are talking about money. This is a standing instruction to all devotees that be careful of two things, Bhagavatam says, money and women. This is the cause of all downfall. There is so much comfort in money, so much enjoyment in women. Radheshambu was sharing when he was in our class. There appears to be some joy that the male body experiences when he talks to women. Naturally, there's some joy. But if we try to become, Prabhu says, Radheshambu says, if we try to become a playboy, enjoying women, joking with women, then you become a plaything in Maya's hands. Maya will play you up. He says like that. Plaything in the hands of Maya. Mriga Krida, dancing doll. Mriga Krida, puppet. Puppet is an animal, no? Mriga Krida, in Sanskrit, mentioned in Bhagavatam. The preachers of the Krishna conscious movement should be extremely careful not to misuse the immense quantities of money needed to spread this movement. Let us not make this money the cause of our distress. Who is Prabhupada speaking to? ISKCON members. Specifically, future ISKCON members, we. Don't let money be the cause of the chinta, distress. It should be used for Krishna. That will be the cause of our happiness. Money is Lakshmi, the companion of Narayan. Lakshmi must always remain with Narayan. Like that. Okay, this is one principle. Yeah. Done. I'm done.
Part of personal sense gratification.
Part of?
Not to spend the money for a personal sense gratification.
Yeah.
Then it is because there are moral principles, in one sense, we will not break those principles.
Yeah.
But can you elaborate like what?
So, what is sense gratification? It's different for different people according to different stages. If someone drives in a car to go for a preaching program, is that sense gratification? Walk. It's not like that. It's not the vastu. It's the bhavana. So, how do you know that if I'm spending for sense gratification? If after committing the act, your Krishna conscious absorption comes down, that means sense gratification. If after having done the act, you are more Krishna conscious, that means it's not sense gratification.
Can you give some example?
For example, if let's say I go to a preaching program where there's an AC room in a luxury car and I'm eating paneer sabji or something, but then after the program I'm feeling more devotional, I was not attached to thinking about the car or this and that. So that means those activities will not sense gratification. But after all this, if a person comes back and a person starts thinking that, every program should be like this. Other people do not know how to. I don't want to go there because they don't know how to treat me. I like to go here because they know how to treat me. I think I will keep going visiting this program. That means your consideration is based on the externals. And over a period of time, you will see that you start having thoughts of sense gratification. You start having, feelings of non-devotional activities. These are all causes. Maybe suddenly you start remembering old music from your time, some song. You suddenly start remembering some cinema song. Or you'll have a little frivolous in nature. So these are all slowly byproducts coming up because of one activity of sense gratification. It is not an immediate thing. No? Yesterday's mistake, I have to suffer for the next 2 weeks, 2-3 weeks. It happens like that. It's a slow thing. So then we need to realize, no, I was actually indulging sense gratification. So therefore, once you see one's capacity, how much can you digest? Everyone can digest poison to different degrees. Some people take a little, they die. Some people take a little, they still survive. They can continue. So sense gratification is like that, poison to a certain degree. You have to see how much you can digest. Externally saying, no, this is all sense gratification, I won't wear clothes, I won't take bath. That is too much, isn't it? So there's no principle. In ashram, there's basic principle. In ashram, the basic principle. You eat what comes to you. That is austerity. Sometimes. And sometimes when you have to eat what comes to you, too much it comes. That is also austerity. Isn't it? So that is austerity principle. You don't need to endeavor for it. You stick to the schedule given to you. That is austerity. You're given a schedule, you don't want to follow the schedule. That is self gratification. Your Vidyapit students now, your duty is to study. In Vidyapit, I don't want to study. That is self gratification. Then why you came? Simple question. Isn't it? So ashram, we are given some duties. We have to clean bathroom, clean this. Clean. Okay, no problem. Clean. So no issues. But you say, no, I won't clean. That is sensitive. So ashram life is very clear for us. Do what you're being told, you're safe. It's more difficult if you're staying outside the temple, outside the jurisdiction. Then you have to really see what is sensitive and what is not. Ashram life is you wear what you're given, you do what you're told. Right? Like recently, I give you a current example. Many devotees got second initiation, right? And so people are thinking, when I'll get deity services. Then deity department says what? When we call you, then you come. Don't ask in between. Message was sent. When we call you, you come. Don't ask in between. Actually, this is the mood of deity worship. You should never demand. It may take you 5 decades also. Krishna knows he is Paramatma. Maybe they forgot about me. They'll come, he'll come. And when he comes, then I don't say no. He comes, always go, no problem. So this is what sense gratification. So ashram, I feel, is very easy because it's very clear. But for the devotees who are staying outside, it's a bit difficult. They're dealing with work, they're dealing with family, they're dealing with relative. What is sense gratification, what is not sense gratification? It's a bit tough. And like I said, after going through that experience, the next 2 weeks they realize that was not a good move. That was not a good decision. चलो हम बाहर जाके खाएंगे आज थोड़ा सा होते हैं हमको आश्रम में भी होते हैं चलो हम बाहर जाएंगे तो खाएंगे पानीपुरी रोड पे चलो वेजिटेरियन ना and you eat and this and that night that next day night suddenly you are having thoughts disturbing thoughts where these thoughts are coming from what did I eat what did I see what did I do where did this come from something wrong something Vishwana khaila Vishwa hoya malino hoya so it happens. So this is kind of experience.
Older days in Radha where the money was very scarce. Money never come. So that time also Maharaj used to say we should not ask money from the devotees. It will come on its own accord. And I was told long back, they should Ucha Bhakti. Go to Kalbadevi market, collect vegetables and do the Sunday program. Offer this.
Yeah. Use that money.
And if you look at that situation and today's situation, today the money is flowing to them. They are very comfortable position.
Kanakadara.
So, like the purport says, you should not get attached to the money, or if you get attached to the money does not mean that you ask for money. When it comes, rather keep attachment to the money. When it comes, don't spend something like that. Very careful on that. The attachment should be in right sense that you should not let the money out unnecessarily. Or there are some temples also in Bombay. They ask from their congregation that you have to pay so much for this purpose, and especially when distribution comes, one has to pay minimum 10,000 rupees, 100 books, Bhagavad Gita, like that. So, I'm just not trying to tell anything, but Maharaj was so very futuristic vision he had. But money, get attached to the money means mentally get attached to it. Rather, when it comes, catch hold of it, use it very nicely. Don't spend it waste of effort, but don't run after it. See, running after is one thing. Like as you said, the deity worship. Don't run after it. Wait for that. That is a real attachment you are having towards it. Right? That is, you are separated from the deity. That gives you more intensity to come closer. When the day will come. Something like that. Am I right?
Yes. I also remember that someone asked that money is important. So how much and how to use? So one practical experience I'll share with you. In our temple in Malaysia, so when we were in management, we raised the funds, actual fund savings in the bank to about 1 million of our currency, about 20 million rupees. For the 2 crores, something. We raised that much money within 1 year. Right? Within about 11 months, we raised 2 crores. And then next thing you know, there was a issue in the congregation. Everyone started fighting for the money. How we use the money, this money, that money, who will become temple president, who will change, what. And today I'm in the temple, so I'm out of the temple. And that time I was in contact with, Kanai Thakur Prabhu from Pune. So I was in touch with him. I was telling Prabhuji, what is happening? I said, how did this happen? He said, Radhesham Prabhu told that money is always dangerous. But I said, we need money. How to run the temple? Keep money in the form of books. Because no one envies books. When you need money, sell the books. Then use it. Keep money in the form of books. Don't keep money in the form of gold or money. Very dangerous. People envy it. So Prabhupada's principle was that if you need to spend 1,000, right? Like if you earn 1,000, you spend 1,500. Always spend more than what you earn. So that you will always be debt. And I've seen now here also sometimes they say so much money is coming. But every time ashram meeting, financial budget meeting, he says that no money. No money. We used to get 4 clothes in a year. 4 pairs. Then they cut. For the past 6 years, they cut. Every brahmachari will only get 2 pairs. They don't have money. Ashram has no money. Then they build the building. After build the building, then they say, no money now, no furniture, no bed, no cupboard, nothing. You are just. So, kabhi hai, kabhi nahi, kya hai? So it's like that only. Money come, money spend. Money come, money spend. This is healthy. This is healthy. Chowpati at one point of time, Sunday feast was khichdi only. Remember? Only khichdi. So congregation is like anything, and people like ashram here also, in GB also. One point of time, all simple. One time too luxurious, one time too simple. It's like that. So basically when money comes, quickly spend it. Because money actually is very dangerous. And if you need to keep money, keep it in the form of books, your souvenirs, these kind of things where you can sell. People won't envy. You have to work hard to sell. It's a principle. money is stocked in one place, like fixed deposit, savings, and business. So here also when temple gets my money, buy land, empty. And collect, buy land, empty. So you're saving money in the form of land, property. This is better. And temple will always be poor. This is good, actually. Don't stop. Very dangerous. Now, text 33. One more effect of too much money. Rajata Chaurata Shatra Svajanat Pashupakshita Ardibhya Kalata Swasman Nityam Pranartavadbhayam.
Those who are considered materially powerful and rich are always full of anxieties because of governmental laws, thieves, and robbers, enemies, family members, animals, birds, persons seeking charity, the inevitable time factor, and even their own selves. Thus, they are invariably afraid.
So people who are so attached to money are afraid from 7 kinds of people. People who are so attached to money, they are afraid of bhayam, always from 7 kinds. What is the first? Rajatas, government, tax. When the government catch me and ask me to pay tax. Always afraid of government. Second, chaurata, chaura, always afraid of chor, thieves. Second, shatru, enemies. You are a rich person, you don't like another rich person. You are enemies. Third, Fourth, swajanan, family members. When will my son marry some girl, crazy girl, and she will take over my property? When will my daughter marry some man, useless man, and take over my property? Fearful, no? When someone marries outside the family, without the permission of parents, rich parents, it's like heart attack. Swajanan, pashu pakshitaha. They are even afraid of beasts and animals and birds. I do not know if you have seen, but those who are very attached to money, they are afraid of even small animals. Hey, they might bite me. I may get rabies. I may get some disease and die. Keep it away, keep it away. Have you seen? I've seen my own father. My father was very stupid. Like we all used to walk on the road, some dog word comes beside me, like dog, my father was very worried. Hey, bite me, something will happen. Worried, why? I may die. Suddenly this animal attacked me. Isn't it? They become fearful of even animals and birds. You may laugh because you don't have money. You are laughing how foolish this is because you don't have money. You see small children in the village, they are playing with the animals. But rich people know. The moment they get down the car, they say, oh, maybe it has rabies. You know what's rabies? Rabies, you know rabies? You all understand rabies? What do you say in Bangla? Rabies, huh? It's another bite, there's no cure. Huh? The person gets lockjaw, foaming, hydrophobia symptom, and then they die. It's a virus. Right. So, you see rich people, when they come down, they are always very afraid. They are afraid of the cow. If the cow hits me like this, I might get a hole. They are worried. But the village people, nothing to lose. Ladya. Okay, correct, no? They are bindas, they are happy. But the rich people are afraid. Why? I have to protect myself, I have to protect my body. They want to walk also, they are very scared, walk carefully. If I slip and fall. And here you see our Keshav Priya Mataji. Old Mataji. She goes every morning in gold and after coming out she says, my leg is so painful. But still you are walking. I tell her, go and sit down. No. Let me do parikrama. Old ladies. Nandananda Guru's mother, Keshav Guru's mother, all Hari Guru's mother, all old ladies running around morning. Right? So they are not worried. I say, Amma, you can fall down. Careful. Because nothing is there. But when a rich person is afraid, why money is there? Powerful psychology, huh? Pakshitaha. There are the 5th kind of person. 6th kind of person, Ajitibhya. People who want of money, they are afraid of such people. Somebody comes and says, actually, sir, I want to study, but I need some money. How much? Isn't it? They are afraid of, they hate this kind of people. They are afraid of such people. Or someone asks to come temple, people come. So I say, rich people's house. Have you all gone asking for donations?
Yes.
Right? When you take that pachi, That sleep when you ask, they will ask me, come and ask questions. Right? We used to go. Now I come from a family which is a very good to-do family. So we used to have a very big house. This was those days, 1992, 93. We have on camera and we have an intercom. You know what's intercom? Intercom is from inside. If I call, they can hear outside. Speaker. They can just talk like speaker come. So we used to stand like that and we used to see some people coming in the temple. Not ISKCON, outside temple. My mother, the person has come. No. So they ring our doorbell. Ding, 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 ding. We won't answer, keep quiet. We all inside, we were watching. But we couldn't do anything. This is what I used to do every time. Now I have to do it. So then I used to answer the intercom. And I used to say, nobody's at home, I'm the maid. You know what I mean? Nobody's at home, boss is not there. Sorry, please come. No, please give some. No, I don't understand. No, I cannot come out. Very scared. Now I am the guy who goes around and sees I know, right? So this in Bhagavatam, do you remember this one verse that comes? Rich person who does not entertain others, their house, their home is like a sandalwood tree infested by a snake. Druma, Yalaya, snake living in a sandalwood. Very nice, but useless. Now, that is Artibya. That is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, 7. Yeah. 7. Kalagaha, they are afraid of time. Constantly, these rich people are going in front of the mirror and looking. What are they looking? Wrinkles, my white hair, my teeth. Right? My uncle, he's a big Navy officer. He is commander of Navy, his own ship. One day he was eating an apple. Military guy. You bite the apple, his teeth broke. Half the teeth was an apple. Immediately he called my mother. My mama. He called my mother. I've got realization life now. Just see. Right? So they're constantly fearful of time. And 8. The 8 is the most amazing. This you have to circle. They are afraid of government, they are afraid of thieves, they are afraid of enemies, they are afraid of their relatives, they are afraid of animals, they are afraid of beggars, they are afraid of time. 8, they are afraid of themselves. Swasman. Swasman means they are afraid of their own self. How this is, they are afraid of their own selves. That they may hurt themselves. When they get up, they walk carefully. You see many rich people, right? When they go to toilet, they keep the door unlocked. They are afraid they may die in the toilet. Really? True. Old people are saying, they unlock the toilet and they go. Because they are afraid they die inside, no one will find their body. So smart. They are afraid of their own selves. While eating, they are scared. Cannot eat so much, I will die. What life is this? These are all dangers, fears because of money. You create 8 kinds of enemies. Fear from 8 people just because of money. How powerful is Bhagavatam? Yes or no? Yes. Prabhupada chooses to talk about the 8 of all this. Others are very clear. Purport. Are you getting forward? Not much, little bit. The word swasman means from oneself. Because of attachment to money, the richest person is even afraid of himself. He fears that he have locked his money in an unsafe manner or might have committed some mistake. Sometimes you wait, did I forget the password? Do I remember this? Always fearful of his own self. Do I remember this? Have I done this? They go back and check. Check 2 times. They open the safe check. Keep it. They are afraid. They go to the bank. Rich people will visit the bank every day. Check the money. They confuse. You know this app has your bank balance. Huh? They check every day. We don't need to check. Nothing is going to come. Sometimes after so long you remember, hey, what's the password? I forgot really. How much money is there going to go? Because rich people they check every moment, every day. Refresh. very much fearful. Right? Like this Prabhupada says. So what is the cause of fear? Do you remember what is the definition of fear? In Bhagavad? Bhayam vidya abhiniveshasya. Bhayam, fear means absorption in vidya, in something else. There is only eka. There is no vidya. There is only one absolute truth. Everything is Krishna. But when you see something apart Krishna, that is called vidya. Is vidya real? There is actually no vidya. There is only ekam. There is only one truth. There is Krishna. Everything is Krishna. Everything is Krishna's energies. But fear means when you see or you are absorbed in something illusionary. That is called vidya. Bhayam vidya abhinivesh sya. Ishat apetya. Ishat apetasya. That means you turn away from God. That's the second action of fear. When you turn away from God, there will always be fear. And what's the third action? Viparyayo smriti. When you are forgetful. When you misidentify with something else. These are all the three actions of fear. So if someone is feeling fearful, you are absorbed in illusion, you have turned your face away from Krishna, God, and you have misidentified with this body. That's why you are fearful. So how to overcome fear? Absorb in the absolute, turn your face towards God, and realize that you are soul, not this body. Abhayam. These are three conditions. Understand? Bhagavad very clear. Each shloka is one point. Very beautiful. Okay. Hare Krishna. So, Jusai, very clearly, you just see from here. There's no point in taking a break. You have to be fruitful. Yes, Maya. Thank you. You can see. Sit down. Text 34. More qualities of wealth. See, Prabhu, you all please remember this. This section we are seeing, text 31, 32, 33, 34, is all talking about dangers of wealth. Please save this. Because later in your 8th canto, 9th canto, 10th canto, you are going to see some more dangers of wealth. Then you make a compilation. In Bhagavad, what they talk about the dangers of wealth. And this becomes a brahmachari seminar for your future training disciples. Right, across Bhagavad, these are the sections. I told you one only in the beginning. Janmaishwarya, Sudha, Sridir, Edamana, Nadapoman. Of all this, which is the most dangerous? Janmo, Aishwarya, Sudha, Shri, which is the most dangerous? Why? Why money is the most dangerous from everything else? Even if you don't have everything else, if you have money, you can buy everything else. You can buy education. You may do ugly like anything, but you can get a beautiful girl. Because you have money. Right? I won't give examples. So you can do all this with money. Money is the most dangerous. So that was mentioned in the first canto. And little here that I think Brahmadev mentions in his prayers 3.9 and Kapila Dev in his teachings, a man works like a dog, not respected. A little money here and there. But heavy main first section comes here and later in the few cantos. So remember this section, dangers of wealth. So text 34, again continuing dangers of wealth. Shoka moha bhaya krodha raga klaidya shramadaya yanmula shurnam jaya spraham pranartayo buddha.
Those in human society who are intelligent should give up the original cause of lamentation, illusion, fear, anger, attachment, poverty, and unnecessary labor. The original cause of this is the desire for unnecessary prestige and money.
So here they say, with money comes 7 times of suffering. Shoka, moha, bhaya, krodha, raga, klaipya, shrama. All this comes, right? Now there's another shloka that comes in the 11th canto. I've quoted this before. You can note this down. 11:23:17. 11:23:17 says 7 situations in which wealth will always cause you 4 things. Will always cause you ayashaha, meaning labor, tras, difficulty, suffering, Marathi Marathi class. And chinta, worry, and bhram, confusion. What are the 7 conditions? In earning wealth, in getting wealth, in giving wealth, in spending wealth, in protecting wealth, in making wealth, in losing wealth. 7 conditions will always cause you these 4 things. Extreme labor, extreme headache, alright, heartache, chinta, and confusion. These are 7 situations in which wealth will always be miserable. In this shloka, they are giving you 7 sufferings in which wealth causes, right? Now one more thing. 11, 23, 18 and 19, which is the next verse after the 7. They give you 15 qualities which ones suffer by because of wealth. Here they give you how many? 7. That verse, 2 verses gives you 15 qualities which wealth causes you to suffer. Shoka, moha, bhaya, so many different things. Right? You can look it up. The 15 qualities, can you imagine how wealth is causing suffering? So you can remember that. So Prabhupada writes in the purport. Okay, beginning is all just basics, and then Prabhupada talks about nectar of instruction. Okay, here I want to talk. Look, after this Atyahara Prayascha Shloka in the purport, after the quotation number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, then Prabhupada writes, we recommend. You found it? Yes. This is Prabhupada's instructions to members of ISKCON and future members of ISKCON. This is standing instruction for the next 10,000 years. We recommend that as soon as money accumulates in our Krishna conscious movement, 50% of it should be invested in printing books and 50% for expenditures, especially in establishing centers all over. So this is the principle. 50% for preaching and 50% for expansion and maintenance. To maintain the temple, you need some money, you need to pay some staff, you need to buy some things, you need to buy some cleaning things, whatever, pay the rent. So 50% of money should go like this. With that, some money should also go in expanding. Let's say you need to build a new temple hall. You need to build a Govindas. Right? So maintenance of properties, liabilities and assets. Like any account people here? Your accounts, huh? I hate accounts, I'm sorry. I was very good in everything else except accounts. I'm good in money. I'm good in keeping money, but not the accounts with liability, assets, removable assets. I always get very low marks. Okay? But I'm good in money. Keeping money. Okay, in my way. So, liabilities and assets. These both come under the second 50%. Liabilities are, for example, your expenses, paying this, paying that, rent, light bill, all these are liability. Assets, like I need to spend money to build a Govindas. It's an asset. Why? In one sense, it gives me revenue. Right? I need to buy land. It's an asset. So these are the kind of things which the second 50% talking about. The first 50% printing books basically mean investing in preaching. You need to invest for the prasadam cost, you need to invest for the transport cost, you need to invest for the preaching cost, festival cost. These are all 50%. So temple expects 50-50. And under that, there are so many breakups. Right? So all you future managers, most of you, some of you are early managers. Right? आप भी मैनेजर हैं कुछ कम नहीं है right? Yeah, big manager. So this is some principles in Bhagavad Prabhupada makes it very clear. To the degree we keep our books very clear, right? Bookkeeping, then your management is very clear. If it's very messy, you don't have a map how you're spending. Money come, money go, money come, money go. Then you cannot think. So here Prabhupada is giving the vision, plan. When you get money, where you should channel to. You see, I spend here, 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 like that. So you know where you're spending in all pockets equally. Else, so many managers are there in ISKCON temples, they get money, what's in front of them? Kharcha karo. Kya chahiye? Chalo, kharcha karo. Then they don't keep track of it. They're very bad actually. Alright? Then, let's read ahead. Yes.
those who have a printing authority.
Those who are
Printing authority.
printing.
Authority. So they should buy books from the book, right?
Yes, buy books from DBT. Okay, that is the official DBT protocol.
And what you have said, when money will be available, that will expensive. But what about the crisis moment? Sometimes we need to store some money for crisis moment.
Yeah, but crisis is a temporary situation. Crisis is a temporary situation. Crisis from
And it may
emergency
come-
fund, you're saying.
It
Emergency
may
fund.
come. Yes, emergency fund.
Emergency fund means that much for emergency. Emergency fund doesn't need to grow. Some people keep first year 1 crore, the next year 1 more crore grow emergency. Why you need 2 crore for emergency? So sometimes emergency fund becomes collection fund. Then problem starts. That is our mistake when I'm telling you the story. We made the same mistake. Our emergency fund is time to grow.
And what I know that some big temples who deposited some good amount of money for deity worship, not for the brahmacharis or
That is temple
some,
maintenance.
yes, for deity worship. From the profit, they will continue the deity management.
That's the second 50%. Second, deity means temple maintenance. Deity, brahmachari, or temple maintenance. Brahmachari means feed the deities or feed the brahmacharis also. As much as you have to clothe the deities, you have to clothe the brahmacharis also. They're both same only. Right? It's expense. If you have cows, same thing, you have to feed the cow. It's all expenses in the second category, 50%. Expenditure.
But what I am talking, they are not expensing it, they deposited a good amount of money in bank. And from this profit, they are expensing. For deity worship.
ठीक है interest investment corpus that's fine, that's okay, that's something, but be very careful. If your corpus sometimes grows bigger than your utilization, when you have excess money, that is when the problem begins. So as I said, your bhavana should be what? I have so much to spend, I don't have enough money. That should be the consciousness. Not that, I have enough money, no problem. You want to bring 50 cows, no problem, I can spend. That means you have a lot of money. Then a lot of money will cause all these problems. Shoka, moha, bhaya, shatru, fear. Excess money will cause these problems. So the manager should always put in themselves in a crisis moment. Always. Your money is just cut to cut. Just cut to cut. Always. If you have excess money, easy going, then people will become very lazy. And no one will work hard. No one will work hard. So you should learn this art of balancing. Money chahiye, but at the same time don't be too luxurious also. Spend, we have a lot of money, buy land. Buy land. But you don't want to do with the land. Keep. After some time, that's an idea. Buy land. So usually temples they fix. My corpus should be this much. You don't grow the corpus. Unless the project grows, then the corpus grows. Project doesn't grow, corpus should not grow. Project is not growing, but corpus is growing. Dangerous. That is cancer. Right? If you have enough money, then get more cows, start Goshala, get more brahmacharis. Right? Increase your expense. Get more money discussing this section, we'll get more brahmacharis. Just want to continue this forward. The managers of the Krishna conscious movement, like all of you, should be extremely cautious in regard to this point. Otherwise, money will be the cause of lamentation, illusion, fear, anger, material attachment, material poverty, and unnecessary hard work. Then Prabhupada quotes his own life story. When I was alone in Vrindavan, I never attempted to construct mathas or temples. Whether I was fully satisfied with the small amount of money I could gather by selling back to Godhead. And thus I would provide for myself and also print the literature. When I went to foreign countries, I lived according to the same principle. But when Europeans and Americans began to give money profusely, I started temple and deity worship. That's it. खर्चा करने के लिए मंदिर बनाते. So people who are sometimes now they are building temples thinking that after building temples I'll get money. If you have a lot of money, then build temple. Don't think that I'll build temple and get money. Temple is not for fun collection. example is for seva. You have a lot of money, use it in seva. Because that will exhaust money. New dresses, new festivals. So brilliant, huh? Temples and daily worship, if you want to exhaust money. The same principles should still be followed. Whatever money is collected should be spent for Krishna, not a far thing for sense gratification. This is the Bhagavata principle. Okay? So, again, sure. We'll take a short break now for Gayatri and juice. And we will come back and we will hopefully complete this chapter. Yes? Yes. Yes, more interesting.